Let us not forget everything that happens. It's by the will of Allah. Holy will. It's time to unite and stand, and we will be the best amongst men. It's not time to be extreme or do the unthinkable, but to stand together as one. Tune into Sunnah followers, streaming every day, various platforms. Trust me, you'll find a way. Sunnah followers.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Listen, we are in dire need of donations to keep these shows running and available for you 24/7. So that means when you're in the car, it's available for you to listen to. Whether you're at work, streaming, playing a game, it's available for you to listen to. Growing your deen and learning about the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful different topics of Islam. Listen, one of the heaviest deeds that could be placed on your scale on the Day of Judgment is Sadaqah Jariyah. Yes, I know, I'm trying to build deeds daily. So you can too. So listen, feel free and please, from the bottom of your heart, donate to this wonderful cause, wonderful website and platform to continually push out shows that will benefit you and the Muslim Ummah. Yes, you can donate by going to the Sunnahfollowers.net website, pressing the donate tab. You can also scan the QR code in YouTube on the far left top of our videos that are streaming. Listen, guys, this is very important, and take this as important. We want to keep this programming available for you 24/7 so that you have access in your car, anywhere you choose to tune in to this wonderful programming. Yes, guys, it's all at your disposal. So listen, feel free to donate. Once again, remember, Sadaqah Jariyah, one of the heaviest deeds on your scale on the Day of Judgment.
Oh, living in this dunya to the believer is a prison. Living in this dunya to the believer is a prison. Living in this dunya to the believer is a prison. You just need to stay away. And you just need to stay away. Stay away today. There's a heavy price to pay. Stay away, stay away, stay away. You just need to stay. Prohibition, limitation. You just need to stay away. Open your eyes and look around. Open your eyes. See the very things that you read about coming true. Don't you realize the moments are near? Correct yourself in your affairs. He has made it crystal clear. These are the signs of the time.
Assalamu alaikum. Sunnah followers, new class, stay tuned.
Signs of the times. Ask Sister Laila live. Sister Laila live. Weekly for the shower at the hour. Ask Sister Laila live. Sister Laila, invite your friends and family, make it cozy. Ask Sister Laila. You will make it through. The fitrah is awake in you. With Quran and Sunnah by your side, here's a place where it will thrive. You will make it through. You will Ezra is awakening you. With Quran and Sunnah on his side, here's a place where it will thrive. You will make it through. With Quran and Sunnah on his side, here's a place where it will thrive. You will make it through.
Okay, everybody, inshallah, we can get started. Inna alhamdulillah, wa salat wa salam ala wa rasulullah. I want to welcome everybody here to our first okay. First of all, before I begin, I just got a text message from Dr. Asim. Can you guys write it down? Dr. Asim's class is canceled tomorrow. Can y'all write that down for me, family? So I don't put it, I take it off the schedule. All right. Yeah, so Dr. Asim's 4 o'clock class tomorrow, and I was just getting ready to talk about that too. So I'm glad he must be watching. Okay, so his class is canceled tomorrow. So tomorrow we won't have his class. And also Dr. Ali's class and Sheikh Dramali's weekend classes are canceled too. They're done with their school for that. Okay, so please refer to the new schedule for Saturday. I will be adding more, but tomorrow you got my class at 6. You have my class at 9, and I'll add another class later, but not tomorrow. So, but for this week, just my classes at 6 and 9 for Saturday. Sunday, you have the class for the kids at and the new shahadas on the Dunya, the book Dunya. That's going to be at 2. And then you have my 6 o'clock and my 9 o'clock. And I'll add to that whatever Dr. Ali and Dr. Jamali add to me. So that's the weekend. But write that down for tomorrow, his class is canceled. Okay, let's get started. Okay. All right. Inna alhamdulillah wa salat wa salam ala wa rasulullah. Today, alhamdulillah, we're going to complete this chapter of the book Diluting Wal Bara, which is chapter 4. And this chapter was just as informative as chapter 3, because what Sheikh Kareem Abu Zayd did was he gave scenarios which involve the thinking process. And as we've discussed, guys, a lot of Muslims do not understand how the qadr or the decree of Allah works. There's a lot of people who have been born and raised Muslims that don't understand that as human beings, we make our own choices in life. Does everybody understand that? So just to see, before I even go off into the class for today, because you're going to have a final exam today too. I'm going to also at the end of today's lecture give you a final exam to cover what we've discussed in this chapter, chapter 4. But who can explain for us, how does the decision-making process that we make work with the qadr of Allah? How does Allah, what role does Allah's decree play in our decision making? You know, because again, if this is a basic that every Muslim should understand, but if I were to walk the earth and ask the majority of the Muslims to explain this, they're not going to be able to. And this is a basic. This is what will get you in paradise. To not understand this will not get you in paradise. It'll get you in the hellfire. Okay, so who can tell me, how does our decision making, what role does it play in the decree of Allah? Okay, whoever that is talking, can you get up on your microphone so we can hear you?
He gives us the he knows what we're gonna do, but he gives us the choice whether to choose if we want to do it or not.
Okay, tell the people how old you are.
12.
Okay, this is from a 12-year-old. What do you guys think about this 12-year-old's answer? The question was, what role does Allah's decree play in your decision making? He said Allah knows what your choice will be, but he doesn't make it for you. What do you guys think of this 12-year-old's answer?
I agree.
I agree.
Exactly. Why is it that you adults can't come up with the answers? You know, a lot of people ask me that. They watch my, my classes are becoming pretty popular. You know, my classes are becoming pretty popular on YouTube. The reason being is not because I'm anybody to be popular. I'm known as notorious. I've been notorious all my life. So it ain't about Laila's looking for popularity or fame, because I am notorious. All right. But what's making my classes popular is the fact that I'm teaching you Islam in its truthfulness with the understanding of the companions. And that's something that we don't hear on the internet or from most of these famous speakers anymore. What part of that? The truthfulness is not known, because we're living in the days of fitan, the days in which the truth will become distorted, where the truth will appear to be bad and dirty, and the lies and falsehood will appear to be evil. And the second part of that is the understanding of the companions. What do y'all hear these famous personalities quote? Do they quote the companions when they speak? No, they quote what Imam Hanafi said, what Imam Shafi said, what Imam Malik said, what Ibn Taymiyyah said, what Ibn Qayyim said, what Sheikh Fawzan said, what Sheikh Albani said, what Sheikh Uthaymeen said, and it goes on and on and on and on, but no mention at all as to what Aisha radiallahu anha said, what Ibn Abbas said, what Ibn Umar said. These were your first generation of Muslims, and they were the true scholars of this deen. As Allah says, nobody, no human being on this planet after them or before them understands this religion better than those original companions. Yet they fail to quote their understanding. When we talk about issues, you don't hear them say, well, what's the understanding of the companions? Well, the companions understood, for example, covering the face. None of the companions said the woman's face has to be covered except Ibn Masud. Out of all those over 3,000 original companions, there was over 3,000 of the originals. Only Ibn Abbas had that view. But that wasn't a view of Abu Bakr, Umar, Ali, Uthman, Aisha, or any of the others. They said a woman's face ain't got nothing to do with her nakedness. She ain't got to cover it. And just so you guys know, the female companions didn't cover their faces. They didn't walk around with just a one eye, nor did they walk around looking like cyclopses like this either. They didn't do that. It wasn't part of the Arabic dress. Still ain't. All right? But you never hear these brothers quote what those companions said. So that's why my channel is becoming popular. Why? Because a lot of Muslims, since we're going through the hardships of the world, Allah has sent his punishment. And that's what it is. Allah has sent his punishment to different parts of the world, showing his anger. Because he promised us that. He said, whenever we deviate away from Islam in its truthfulness, and whenever we abandon that understanding that those companions had, there will be chaos. He will send his calamities, his punishment through war, through famine, through drought, through earthquakes. This is all coming from Allah because he's angry. He said, and when I send it, it's my sign. The intelligent, wise believers will recognize it for what it is, a sign of his anger. And they will continue to try to call you to the truth like I'm doing. They will continue to try to pull you back to the Sunnah with that understanding of those companions. But the people that do it will only be a handful. I'm one of the handful, inshallah. And the people still are not going to listen to us. But for those Muslims who do truly believe and who are sincere in trying to be guided back to Allah and to his grace, they'll come upon my channel. They'll listen to this woman here speak, and they can't turn away because their fitra has been awakened. Their fitra is trying to find its way back to Allah. Their fitra is drawn to me, drawn to my words, drawn to these examples that we're giving you here at Sunnah Followers from the companions. The examples of the companions and how they handled themselves. The words of the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and what he told us to do. The words of Allah broke down, reinforced in the language you understand. So that's why my channel is becoming popular. Not because of me, because I am notorious, always have been. I came in this world notorious. And I'll go out, inshallah, notorious too. Nobody likes Layla except Allah. It's when the people start liking me, that's when I know something's wrong with me. The fact that most people can't stand Layla, that means that I am in good grace with my Lord. So that's why the channel's becoming popular. It's the message. The message. The message is hitting your heart. The truth is penetrating your heart. You're trying to do what it takes to change the condition of yourself to that which is pleasing to Allah. You recognize that what's happening in this world is happening because Allah willed it. Allah willed this to happen, not America, not the Zionists. Allah is the one that brought it and willed all this happening to happen. And if all mankind were to come together and try to stop what's going on in Gaza, to try to stop what's going on in Africa, trying to stop what's going on, there's nothing we can do. And Allah is trying to get y'all to see that. He's trying to get everyone to see that he's in control. It ain't stopping. It's going to spread. And the people still don't get the message. The protesters are still not dressed properly. You turn on TV, it's disgusting. I don't even watch the news no more. I can't stand to see a hypocrite. I don't like hypocrites. I just don't like two-faced, hypocritical people. I can't stand to see a person talk one way, but they don't look the part. They don't behave the part. I can't stand turning on TV and seeing these so-called Muslim Association schools. What is wrong with these schools? You need to go to school and learn Islam. What they call them, Muslim student associations. You call yourself a Muslim student organization. You're standing there talking about the rights of the Muslims. You ain't got a hijab on. You got your breast sticking out looking like Nicki Minaj. You got your butt up so high. I know you done had all kind of surgeries. And the men sitting there holding your hand. The men ain't got no beards, but they claim to be fighting for the rights. You need to take those flags off and go put an abaya on. Take that flag off your body and go put a hijab on it, because you people are the reason why Allah has brought it. And he's going to continue to bring it. All your protesting, all your hypocritical talk, all you're doing is fueling the fire. And my question to you people are, what are you going to do when the rocket hits America? Because Allah already said it's going to happen. You too busy getting that college degree. You need to go learn the signs of the last hour, because they're here. And Allah in his mercy detailed step by step what's going to happen. This is just the beginning, you airheads, as to what's going to become the end. The prophet said it would start right there. He said every fitna that this nation will go through will begin right there at Gaza. But it will spread throughout the entire earth, to the point when those 80 Zionist countries will come together and sign a contract declaring war against all Islam. That's getting ready to happen. Mark my words, Trump will be president. And ain't nothing you can do to stop it. Trump will be the one, because he's a cowboy anyway. Hello, you're fired. Oh yeah, Trump will fire you. He will get back in there. He will bring the nations together and they will sign that agreement for war against Islam. So now when the rocket flies to America, when you Muslims in America are dragged by chains into concentration camps, like the Chinese Muslims have been enduring since 2015, when they pull you non-practicing, I repeat, when they pull you non-practicing Muslims out of your campus universities in America, put you in chains, and drag your non-abaya wearing body to a concentration camp, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Because it's gonna happen. All because we have deviated, like Allah says, when he sends that war. Why? That's the war against Islam. Why? Because we have abandoned true Islam. The Sunnah has been replaced with fatwa. The Sunnah has been abandoned. Instead of hearing about these companions who all you hear is Imam, Sheikh, Qamadam, and even this title of arrogance called Mufti. No God-fearing Muslim on this planet would call himself a Mufti, guys. Do y'all know what the term Mufti means? Look how many Muftis are running around here. You arrogant, pompous idiot. Would a companion call himself a Mufti? If a companion gave birth to a child and named it Mufti, what would the prophet have done? He would have changed that name. He would have said, you can't live up to that. Don't give your children names that they can't live up to. But we got a bunch of muftis, a bunch of sheikh, and they still don't understand that what's happening is because Allah caused it and willed it. Yeah. So that's why my channel's become popular, because it's about the truth with the correct understanding. And by the way, stay tuned, because just like the commercial we put out said, inshallah, starting next week, I'm going to redo my series on the signs of the last hour. We're going to cover all the signs from the beginning to the end in chronological order that the prophet and his companions gave. Okay? And I'm going to break them all down. And I'm going to show you how they're all happening. This ain't nothing new. Why are you Muslims behaving this way? You need to go put them hijabs on. Cover your bodies up and stop protesting. Go protest against yourself. If you want to protest for anything, protest against yourself. Repent from your sins. As the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, in those times of fitna, in those days of fitna that lead up unto, he said, in those days of fitan that lead up to the war against Islam, and then afterwards, the only thing that will save the people is their true belief in La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. Most Muslims don't believe in that. Period. Dot. So I'm here to tell you, y'all ain't gonna survive. The majority of the Muslims ain't gonna survive it. You won't be a survivor. No. And I'll probably be dead. You know why I'll probably be dead? Because Allah said he don't place a burden on nobody they can't handle. I couldn't bear to see it. So I know I ain't going to be living much longer. My days are numbered. What about yours? Are you ready to meet your maker, people? Are you ready to go out? If you should go out right now, are you going out upon La ilaha illallah? The Prophet said, do not die except in a state of submission to Allah. Are you women and you men with all this campus protesting? Are you guys living in a state of submission? I don't see it. Not without the hijab on, not without the beards. Not without your prayers. That's not a state of submission to Allah. That's not Islam. That's hypocrisy. You're no different than the Zionists. You're all the same. That's another sign of the last hour. This nation will be just like them. We will imitate them in everything. And it's already happening. You look like them, talk like them, act like them, but claim that you all about Islam. No, you ain't. You ain't about what I'm about. You don't look like me. You ain't acting like me. You women don't even talk like me. Don't you Muslim women understand that if you're going to speak publicly, you have to make your voice loud like mine and strong? You can't hold some microphone with that little girly Marilyn Mae West voice, you know, because you with your butt hanging out because you're trying to pick up a dude, that dude over there that you're looking at. You're supposed to make your voice loud and strong and fierce like mine. You're supposed to be intimidating. As a Muslim woman, we are women of dignity, humility, balance, and class. Hello. We're warriors. You understand that? We're warriors. You understand? We're fierce. The Muslim woman is fierce. She don't ask for respect. She demands it. When a Muslim woman enters the room, she's so fierce. No matter where I go, if I walk into the gas station, if I walk into a doctor's office, if I take my garbage out, I'm so fierce everybody looks. Not because I'm a Jezebel, but because I demand my respect. She's fierce. And I'm intimidating. Oh yeah. Look, but don't dare try to touch. Admire from a distance. Don't get too close. That's the female companions. That's the true Muslim women. You women at these Muslim student associations, shame on you. You better take your vagabond behinds home and go learn what La ilaha illallah is and put some clothes on. Because you're part of the problem. You're part of the reason why this stuff is happening. So that's why I don't watch TV. And that's why I'm the wrong person to call and talk to about, oh, the students are protesting. The stupid Muslims need to sit down. Let the Kafirs protest. That's what intelligent people do. The Prophet Muhammad did not protest. He allowed the Kafirs to protest for them. When the Muslims were boycotted and sent to the mountains to live, the whole tribe of the Prophet ﷺ, the Muslims didn't protest. They didn't boycott either. He allowed the Kafirs to do it because they are the ones that have the effect. They have the effect on their people, not you. You're standing there with no hijab on, your butt hanging out, looking like Nicki Minaj and Cardi B with Gwen Stefani rolled together. The hip hop crew. You ain't making no impact on this nation. They're saying, look at her. She's a hypocrite because they know that Muslim women don't act like that. They don't look like that. They don't dress like that. So you go home. Let those Harvard non-Muslim students protest. Let those Princeton non-Muslim students protest. They'll listen to their own. Because what is the Zionist strategy? Their strategy since the beginning of their existence, even with the formulation of America, with George Washington and them, and those colonists when they first began their Mason movement to debunk England and the rule of the king. Their thing is attack from within. Let's divide and conquer and destroy from within. That's their strategy. And they don't like to see it done back to them. So you Muslim so-called students need to take y'all butts home. You brothers go to the mosque and do what the prophet said do in times of calamity. Do what the companions did in times of calamity. Go to the mosque and pray and give in charity. And you women, you need to go home, period, and just lock yourself in the house and learn what it means to be a Muslim woman. Learn about the female companions, the stories of the female heroines of Islam. Learn that and give in charity. Let the Kafirs fight, protest, and do that. Because that's the difference. When the Zionists see their own people using their strategy, that's when they back off. You people are stupid. And we learned this from the prophet. Y'all stupid. How did the Islam spread from out of a desert, no place, to the rest of the world? Because Khalid bin Walid was a military genius. Salama was his cousin. She was a military strategist. You people are stupid. You don't even know how to make wudu properly. You don't even know the virtues of praying. If I were to ask you the pillars of the prayer, you can't tell me that. But you think that your protesting is making a difference. You're just making people like me look like a terrorist. Oh yeah, they listening to me. The Zionists will say she's the terrorist. I'm the terrorist because I'm dressed properly and I'm speaking properly. You people, you're sick. That's my take. All right. All right. So let's get to the class. So when it comes to our decision making, all of our decisions and choices in life, the choice to protest, the choice to boycott, the choice to wear a hijab, grow a beard, the choice to formulate and be a part of organizations, the choice to pray or not pray. All of our choices are supposed to be based on two things: the book of Allah and those hadiths. As long as your choices, your decisions don't contradict those two sources, that's when our nation will be all right. But as the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, and what's the source? Sahih Muslim for all these hadiths. All these hadiths I quote today, the source is Sahih Muslim. You know, that's my thing. Oh yeah. All right. It's when we deviate away from basing our decisions on those two sources, that's when Allah's anger comes. That's when oppression appears throughout the land. That's when our nation divides like it is. And it ain't going to get better. It's going to get worse. So today what we're going to be doing is completing the last pages of this chapter that Sheikh Kareem Abu Zayd put together on how to have Wala and Bara impact your decision making. So let me put the PowerPoint up on the screen. And by the way, there's a reason for this speech I gave. I'm giving y'all an exam afterwards. Okay? Yeah, allergies are bad. Yeah, the weather has been in the 80s and 90s and here where I live. And boy, allergies are bad. But yes, there's going to be a final exam. So make sure y'all paid attention to my big khutbah because the quiz is based on it. So let's put the PowerPoint up on the screen. Yeah, these chapters are so good that the best way to do when we complete a chapter is to do a final exam on it. Okay, so this will be the final exam for chapter 4. So let's put this stuff down. I'm going to put the PowerPoint up. Yeah. Okay, hold on. Thank you. The brother here said, thank you, Sister Laila. I needed to hear this. Wait a minute. What is this? Yeah, he said, thank you, Sister Laila. I needed to hear this because I was getting so upset with what's happening. Okay, this is why I tell all of the youth here, you guys need to turn your televisions off. Seriously. If you can't handle, just turn off the TV. And I keep telling y'all to realize that Allah is in control. Nothing that's happening is happening other than the reason why is because Allah wanted it to. If you guys understand that Allah is in control, that's the first step in learning to accept his qadr and understand that Allah doesn't put a burden on any of us that we can't bear. Those Muslims in Africa who have been genocided, facing genocide since 2000, they've been handling it and nobody cares about them. Those Chinese who have been living in concentration camps who are Muslim for years, they can handle it. Those Muslims in Burma, they can handle it. Those Muslims in Gaza, believe it or not, they can handle it too. It's you that can't. That's why Allah ain't sent it to you. So what you people need to do is turn off your television and stop talking about that stuff. Instead, do like the Prophet said, work on your aqidah, your certainty of faith. Work on la ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. Continue to come to these classes. This will make you strong. We'll make you strong here. Empathy will never go away. I empathize for all the Muslims suffering in the world, all of them, every single one. But I also know that this is the qadr of Allah, that there is only so much we can do. And I know that the best thing we can do is pray for them. Pray for Allah to give them the strength to accept whatever his decree may be. That's my supplication. When I pray for the Muslims around the world, I always say, oh Allah, give them the ability to accept whatever your decree may be, because I know Allah is in control. Does everybody understand that? So whatever Allah wills, let us be able to handle it and accept it with dignity, humility, and balance. That's my supplication, because I know that can't nobody stop what's happening. Allah is the engineer. Allah is the conductor. This is all Allah. So ain't nothing none of y'all can do. except submit, and make do it for yourselves, asking Allah to give you the ability to submit and accept too. Ameen. That's what I do. All right. So let's put the PowerPoint up on the screen. Okay. All right. So you can see it. Okay. I'm going to start with the people here in the Zoom room. Yeah. Inshallah, that should help you, brother. I know a lot of y'all are in college. I mean, that's, let them non-Muslims do their little protests, and they're doing a good job. The non-Muslims are doing an excellent job. It's the Muslims who are doing a bad job, believe it or not. The Muslims are the ones transgressing the limits. Let the non-Muslims handle it. The Zionists will listen to their own. They ain't going to listen to nothing you or me say. Oh, okay. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, hold on. Zoom. Okay. I didn't share y'all. Okay, here. That should be the Zoom people now. Okay. The rest of you guys, let me do you again. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, y'all see I have to work the streaming program and it gets crazy. Here it is. Okay, this should be for the people on YouTube. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Make it larger for myself to see. So today we're going to be completing chapter 4 of the book, Diluting Wal Bara, volume 2. So this will be pages 184 through 187. And I'm going to give you a final exam upon the completion. And today what we're going to do, yesterday we talked about how to implement Wal Bara when it comes to our choices and decisions regarding money. Well, today we're going to talk about how to implement that allegiance and that disassociation when it comes to other choices of activities, things to do. Like, for example, you may be faced with the challenge, should I participate in this, in the protest? That might be a choice you have. How do you decide, should I take part in this protest? Well, let's talk about it. Okay. Our social activities, whatever activities that we engage in as Muslims, we have to remember, guys, everything begins with and ends with the law. We have to always bear in mind every day of our life the purpose of our creation. We were created to worship Allah. This world, it was meant to be a testing ground for us. This world was never meant to be a paradise for the believers. It's only a paradise for those who don't believe in Allah. So any social activities or any other activities that we engage in as human beings, they should all be to better our spiritual growth, to better our personal growth. And we talked about this during the month of Ramadan. We want to make choices that will help us in our journey towards Allah. So allegiance and disassociation hold significance in shaping our choices and activities as Muslims. We have to prioritize those actions and activities that align with our Islamic values and principles. We have to prioritize those actions and activities that will strengthen, not weaken, strengthen our loyalty to Allah. So when you're faced with an activity like protesting, ask yourself, if I participate in this, is this going to bring me closer to Allah? Or is it going to pull me away from Him? Also, by protesting in this, is this activity something that will contradict my Islamic values? Will it contradict my Islamic morals? Will it contradict the Islamic principles? So again, whenever we're faced with any choice in life, we should weigh them with that. Is it going to impede upon Islamic values, Islamic principles? Will it strengthen my relationship with Allah? So that's what we do. Whenever we decide on whether or not we should take part in something, to take part in something, be it a food pantry drive, be it giving in charity, be it going to the mosque for an event. Whenever we select an activity, we have to assess it according to its compatibility with our Islamic values, Islamic morals, principles, and whether it's going to bring you closer to Allah. So what are some of the actions or activities that will create positive relationships with us and Allah? Well, number one, you're going to stay away from any activity that involves something unlawful or something haram, or is going to promote indecency. And this is where a lot of you college students fall in. And by the way, the reason I'm doing this lecture is because 3 of my students are in college, and the universities that they attend are the ones that's participating in this protest. So you're going to look at it and you're going to ask yourself, should you take part in this? Does it involve anything that's unlawful? Does it promote indecency? If you got one answer of yes, then that means stay away from it. And as you sisters know, it is indecency, because as you yourself said, the other Muslim girls don't even practice. They don't cover up. They got boyfriends. A lot of the Muslim students are dating each other. So why would you take part when you're going to be sitting there with people who are indulging in sinful actions? Remember, we don't sit in the company of people who sin. You got some MSA students who are dating. SubhanAllah, what's up with this now? I didn't even know that was going on. I knew the girls don't cover up. They didn't cover up when I was in school. But I didn't know they starting to date like the Kafirs and have sex with each other and stuff too. So, there's your answer. As Muslims, we stay away from anything that's unlawful, anything that promotes indecency, anything that contradicts the principles of allegiance to Allah, allegiance to the religion, allegiance to the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And again, we always look at the Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and his example and his teachings. And I tell y'all all the time, nobody suffered more than those companions, not the people of Gaza or anywhere else. But did those companions behave this way? Did they transgress the principles of allegiance and disassociation? Did they transgress the allegiance and disassociation? Did they disassociate from that which contradicted our religion? So again, if we focus on the companions and the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that will help us to understand the boundaries for ourselves. What would the Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, say if he saw his daughter Fatima standing out at a protest with a flag of a country tied around her body, telling everybody, stop the war, free the people? What would the Prophet have done? He would have first of all told her, what are you doing making a spectacle of yourself? That's the first thing he would have said. Secondly, he would have said, oh, Fatima, don't you know that Allah is in control here? Are you protesting against Allah? The war is happening because Allah willed it. He willed for us to have this battle about her. He willed for us to have this battle of Uhud, the battle of the Trent. He would have told his daughter, Allah says in the Quran that war comes from him. And he sends it to cleanse the earth of bad people, to punish those who are deserving of punishment, and to try the believers with something better than life. So he would have told his daughter Fatima, what are you doing? Are you protesting against the qadr of Allah? And then he would have told her to take that flag off of her body, put on an abaya, and go home. That's what he would have told his daughter Fatima. This is how we have to think. And I'm saying this to my female students here. You women have to always think, what would the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam say if he were here? The biggest mistake that Aisha made, she lived to regret, was that battle she participated in. That battle when she fought against Ali. She had nightmares until her death. She repented. She couldn't sleep. She lost her hair. She said that was the worst mistake she ever made. Okay? If Aisha, radiallahu anha, could own up to her mistakes, what's wrong with you Muslims today? Y'all transgressing the limits all over the place. What are you doing protesting? Get your butt home. And learn to submit to the qadr of Allah, like the Prophet would have told Fatima. Subhanallah. So whenever we participate in any type of activity, it has to be compatible with our Islamic values, our Islamic laws, our rules, our morality, and all of that. This is how we not transgress the boundaries. So, since protesting is not going to keep my fitra awakened, what other types of actions or activities will? Well, again, prioritize actions of worship, prayer. That's what the Prophet would have told Fatima. That's what he told all the companions. Pray for victory. He told them Allah is the one that sends war. Allah says, I send war. So we fight and we pray for victory. And he told the companions, and look at your actions. Make sure that your actions are in sync with Allah, because Allah will only give victory to you if your actions are. He said one thing we have that the unbelievers don't have is our prayer. So you want to make a difference. Put worship first. Prioritize dua. Prioritize seeking knowledge of this deen, learning about how the Prophet taught us to behave in times of calamities. And also giving charity, because charity helps to wipe away the wrongs that we do. And stay away from deliberately, intentionally disobeying Allah, backbiting, not praying, not wearing hijab, smoking cigarettes, having boyfriends. Stay away from that crap. So by making the choices that please Allah and encourage, that's how you encourage your personal growth. That's how your soul strengthens its faith. That's how the fitra within your heart stays ignited. And that's how you protect yourself from transgressing the limits of Allah. I don't want to see none of my Muslim girls or boys either at no college, university protesting. I better not turn on no TV channel and see none of my Bantus holding up a flag protesting against the qadr of Allah. I better not see it. I'm here to tell y'all, I'm like your mother, because you guys grew up here on this website since you were 9. I better not open up that TV today and see not one of you holding a flag protesting against the Qadr of Allah. I better not see it. You're going to deal with me, not your parents, me. Okay? And also we have to use Wal Bara in regards to our decisions when facing hardships. Again, even in the face of challenges and temptations, it's all based on what would Allah say? What did the Prophet say? What would the Prophet have done? How did his companions act? Until we make this the criteria in all decisions, we're going to do just like we're doing today, transgressing the limits. Does everybody understand that? The Bara part, the Wal Bara part is what you guys fail at. El Bara means to distance myself. I'm going to distance myself from anything that contradicts my belief system. The problem is most Muslims are not secure in their belief system. They don't know the lawful. They don't know the unlawful. My students do. That's why I better not see not one of my Bantus on that CNN news, like I did the other day. I better not see another one of y'all on TV. Okay? Because you know the lawful and the unlawful. Okay? And again, so a lot of people ask, so what do we do in hardships? Again, it's prayer, prayer, prayer. Get your strength from Allah. Draw upon him. Ask him for guidance. He doesn't make the choices for you and I, but he does guide you. That angel we talked about yesterday, that angel assigned to your heart, it will whisper to you to guide you to do what's right. So when dealing with difficulty, the first thing you should do is seek refuge in Allah. When dealing with a hardship, when faced with a challenge in life, when faced with a decision whether you should or should not protest, first seek refuge in Allah. And then surround yourself with people who are like you. I ain't talking about the MSA girls that don't practice. You should have been surrounding yourself with the people like Norto, the people like Aisha, the people like Melion, the people who are like you, like-minded individuals like yourself, who think like you, who know their religion, who practice it. And then you should have called and asked the people of knowledge. You should have called Sister Layla, but you didn't call Layla because you knew what Layla was going to say. Because you like a daughter to me. Just like you didn't tell your parents. You didn't tell your parents you was protesting either. That's why you got in jail. Hello, hello. You didn't tell your mom and dad either. Because you knew it was wrong. It took your father calling me after he got you out of jail. With the women that don't cover. With the women that don't pray. And now you got a mark on your record. Okay? And again, guys, we have to always remember Allah's promise of reward and affection. This is how we navigate through the hardships of life. This is how we make the decisions that are best. Again, call upon Allah. Surround yourself with practicing Muslims. Ask the people of knowledge. And their answers should be based on Quran and Sunnah and what the Prophet and companions did. Not no mathab, no imam, and no so-called wannabe mufti. Y'all understand that? Whenever we deviate away from this, this is when Allah brings chaos. For the sisters I'm talking about, you too deviated away from this. And now you got in jail. Now you got a record on you. Now you terrorized. Now you got to live with this for the rest of your life. You transgress the limits. Okay? All right. So now what I'm going to do is give everybody here a quiz. Question number 1. When you are faced with a choice, say there's a choice or decision that you need to make in life. If you make istikhara, Allah will make the right choice for you. Is this statement true or false? What do y'all think? When faced with a decision in life, if we recite the istikhara supplication, Allah will make the right choice for us. Is this statement true or false? Every Muslim should know this.
This is false. False.
Okay, somebody gonna tell me why they think it's false?
It's false because Allah does not make us do anything, but He will guide you to doing the correct thing, as far as in like giving you, like guiding you to knowledge of what you can do and what you can't do, and it was be you who will make that decision.
Okay, the numbskulls I'm talking about today, you know, they grew up on the website. I ain't talking about my twins. Okay? They have the nerve to tell me that they made istikhara. And istikhara, and Allah is the one that told them that they should participate in their college protests. Where did that come from? Where did that come from?
Shaitan.
Yeah, exactly. Shaitan. Don't you guys know how many times have I told y'all istikhara is not a magic potion. Istikhara is nothing but a supplication that you make, asking Allah to guide you to a good decision. But if you make a decision that's not good, you're asking Allah to give you the ability to recognize it was bad and walk away from it. That's istikhara. Istikhara ain't no, you don't make it and all of a sudden Allah gonna tell you, go ahead and protest. You know better than that. I didn't teach none of y'all that type of stupidity. SubhanAllah, you see how we forget. By the way, when Shaitan got his hook in you, he'll cause you to forget everything that you knew. Okay? And make dumb choices like this. Okay, what about this?
On YouTube, Sister Isra said, "This is false. Istikhara means we are asking Allah to help us to make the right choice, and shall we make the wrong choice to give us the ability to deal with it." Sister Sakina said, "False. The choice is ours. Allah just knows what your decision will be." And then Jamila said, "False. The angel in the heart will guide us to make the best decision."
Exactly. Good job. All those answers are right. But my two little numbskulls forgot that. Their father is very angry. I am too. What about this? When making choices as a Muslim, what should we use as the justification? In other words, what should we use as the basis when making a choice? If I want to choose, if I'm going to buy apples, or if I'm going to buy some peanuts, or if I'm going to buy some lard, you know, what should be the criteria? What should be the criteria we use to justify our choice, whatever the choice may be?
One, we should ask ourselves if we're doing this for Allah, and if our intentions are kind of blurred, then you should stay away from it. And two, we should ask ourselves if it is lawful or not.
Okay, that's two things. Y'all agree with her answer? What's the justification? Go ahead.
We should also look to the Quran and Sunnah to see if there's anything in there that shows any justification as to if we can make that choice or not. Like, did the companions do it? Did the Prophet do it? Sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Good job. Anybody else?
Yeah. And also look if it's also if it will benefit you.
Good job. If it's going to impose upon Islamic morality, Islamic values, Islamic principles. That's the lawful and unlawful and all of that y'all said. And will it bring me closer to Allah? Everybody understand that? Intentions are first, like Sister Aya said. Check your intentions. Like the numbskulls, the two numbskulls. What was the intentions of participating in that protest at your college? What were you trying to do? What did you think you were going to accomplish? Two girls, two little crazy Bantu girls that don't even know whatever. Ain't lived long enough to know Tom, Dick, Harry, Jane, and what's it, Janette, Janie Tom. What was your intentions? You thought you was going to stop the war? Did you really think you was going to make them stop what's going on in Gaza? Lord have mercy. Intentions, number one. I'm glad Aya said that. And then you want to weigh your choices in accordance to the Quran and the Sunnah. Is it something that violates Allah's laws, principles, values, morality? What would the Prophet Muhammad say if it was Fatima? Fatima going out there to put a flag on her and protest. What would the Prophet have told Fatima? You should have thought about that. That should have made you stay home. Okay, good job, y'all. Good answers. Okay, next question.
Answers on YouTube.
Yeah, go ahead.
Teresa said the criteria we should use, will Allah be pleased with us? And if we get heard that Allah will not approve of this, then we walk away from it. Jamila said, remember, Allah is watching our choices, that what is lawful for us or not. And Sister Sakina said, our intentions to please Allah, and is it the activity law?
Good job, Sakina. Of those answers, Sakina's is the one. You know, number one is it's got to be weighed against the Quran and the Sunnah. Is it violating Islamic laws, principles, morality? Oh yeah, it's violating a lot of stuff. Okay, good job. Okay, what about this? When choosing friends, what should be our criteria? We talked about this yesterday. What's the criteria we should use and weigh everything against when choosing friends? In other words, what are some things we should ask ourselves? If I want to know, like say, for example, I come to you and say, won't you be my neighbor? What should you weigh it up against? Won't you please won't you be my neighbor? What should you weigh it up against, guys? You look at me and what should be the criteria?
I would say make sure that they're also on the Quran and Sunnah too, and make sure that they're not doing unlawful things.
Good job. Good job. What else?
Also, our friends are, as the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, our friends are a reflection of ourselves. So we should see if our friends are people who have good morals and behaviors, because we are on the same, path as our friends. And yeah, just good believing Muslims that follow, do what Allah obligated them to do. Because if you have a friend that doesn't pray, then you might end up not praying too. So whoever you surround yourself with is a reflection of yourself.
Good job. Exactly. Two numbskulls. Y'all forgot that hadith? What were you doing hanging out with those Muslims that don't practice and don't wear hijab? What's going on? Yeah, they the ones that got you to go out there and protest. Oh, yeah. Should you have been listening to them? Come on. These are people that don't even dress right. They don't pray. They got boyfriends. They done probably had sex. You two girls are supposed to be, you better still be virgins. What are you doing? Are you crazy? Anybody else?
Brother Ahmad said, will that person bring you close to Allah, or will they take you away from Allah? And Denisha said, are they practicing the deen?
Exactly. You should have asked yourself, with the president of the Muslim Students Association, will she bring you closer to Allah? The simple fact that she ain't practicing? Why didn't you ask yourselves those questions? Why were you hanging out with her? Now you're going to be kicked out of school. Hello. All right. And then, by the way, it's going to be hard to get back in another university. When a school kicks you out, y'all know that's a serious thing. I'm going to tell her, if I know they family listening, Dad, I would send them back home. I think this is when we need to send our baby girls back home. When our baby girls transgress the limits like this, to the point that they get caught up and put in prison, created all kind of nonsense, they got a record now, and all of this, it's time that we send them back home. Get them married. Just send them on back and get them married. They're done. They done here in America. They done here anyway. They can't get in nobody's university. What they gonna do? Send them home. Back to the Congo. Hello. We'll make sure we make some donations to you next year. Inshallah. All right.
There's some more answers for that. Sister Sakina said, will this friendship bring me closer to Allah and Islamic loyalty and principles, or take me away from these things? And Sister Isra said, is this a person who will help me get closer to Allah? Will this person remind me of Allah if I were to drift away? The Prophet ﷺ said, you are who you associate with, they will influence you. And then Jamila said, making sure we follow the Quran and Sunnah, and if the friends don't follow the dress code, we stay away from them.
Exactly. Here's another question. When should we implement Wal Bara or distancing in our friendships? When should we implement distancing in regards to our friendships with others?
When they start to transgress the limits of Allah.
Give us some examples of transgression and limits of Allah. What does that mean? For example, the Numbskulls didn't know. The Boopsy twins didn't know.
When they are trying to influence you into things you shouldn't do, into practices that we should not practice.
Like what? Give me some examples, guys. Y'all gotta be able to break it down for these kids today.
For example, when it's time for prayer or anything, and they tell you, oh, well, prayer is not an obligation. You don't have to pray it.
There you go. They don't pray. What else?
Another one, when they hanging around with people trying to get you to date and different things like that.
Exactly. They trying to get you to date. Trying to get you to do stuff like that you know is haram. Smoke weed.
Also, yep, the drugs.
The drugs. You should have known. These ain't the kind of people. I do.
The alcohol too.
Yeah.
Also, when they start to dress inappropriately.
Exactly. It don't matter that they come from the same land you come from. They came from the same land you come from to America, and look what America done did to them. You should have distanced yourself. Go ahead.
And not only that, also friendship that include just a circle of just talking about other people in a bad way.
Yeah. That's why y'all stopped coming to my classes. I ain't seen y'all in here since Ramadan. Hello, you ain't been in here since Ramadan. I see why. MSA. Hello. Dad. By the way, you looking for number 4 yet? Let me know. But Dad, ship them back to the Congo. Hello. Ship them back home. All right.
The answers on YouTube. Jamila said, when others ask you to join their club. Denisha said, when you see they are being disobedient to Allah and committing sins. And Sister Isra said, when they are not practicing the deen, not wearing hijabs because they believe it is not part of the religion. They do drugs, they do rock and roll, like Layla says.
Exactly. Okay, what about this question? El Wala regarding friendships entails what things? Now, this is allegiance. In other words, what type of people, what type of characteristics should we look for in other Muslims to attach ourselves to them as friends? What are the characteristics you should be looking for? We done talked about what to stay away from. What should we look for in people to attach to them as friends?
I don't know.
Go ahead. Okay, somebody here type trust. Trust.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say too. You want to be around people who's trustworthy and honest.
Good job. Trustworthy and honest people. People who are you can trust in good times and bad. Go ahead.
Also, you want to be surrounded by people who respect not only the people, also the things around them, such as the environment and stuff. Because there are people who don't respect the environment, don't even like you go out to eat, they don't even clean up after themselves, just making the place the whole ruckus.
Exactly. People who respect the law's creation. What else? What other type of characteristics?
People that don't have a swearing mouth. A person that's basically silent on different things, because some people that you hang around with, their mouth is so bad. So when you're looking for a friendship, they should have a clean mouth when they talking and they speech and everything about them.
You hear that? You hear that, numbskulls? What type of profanity they use? What type of speech they have? Are they hip hoppers? Hip hop artists? Hello? Or are they subhanakallah? Go ahead.
People who exhibit loyalty and who aren't going to put you in bad situations.
Exactly. People that are not going to compromise your safety. You want to be around other people who would never compromise your safety or your deen, because they wouldn't compromise their safety or their deen. Those girls you hang out with at the MSA, what do they compromise themselves and you? SubhanAllah. Just because somebody come from the same country you come from don't mean that they're good people. There's bad people everywhere, even in Gaza. Don't y'all know that? Do y'all think that everybody that lives in Gaza is a believer? Are y'all crazy? There's bad people everywhere. SubhanAllah. Okay, good job. And I think this is the last question.
This is on YouTube. Sister Goldie said humble, low profile. Sister Israel said we look for people who put Allah in the center of their lives. People who are honest and have your back at all times. Those who bring up Allah and the Prophet during meetings. Sister Danica said those who encourage you to do good for the sake of Allah.
Good job. Exactly. People that's going to encourage you to do good for the sake of Allah. You should have been thinking about that. What did these people offer you when they got you to join in with their stupid protests? What did they offer you? What was it going to do? Did it bring you close to Allah? Did it make a difference? Did you stop the war? Did anybody even hear your plea? Did anybody even give a darn about your plea? Except the college whose university whose property you destroyed, which landed you up in jail. Okay? And we also talked about how we should distance ourselves when it comes to our financial dealings too. Give me some examples of financial situations that we need to stay away from or distance ourselves from. What type of financial? Go ahead.
People who exhibit greed and aren't giving with their finance.
Okay, these are situations. What type of financial earnings or financial situations should we distance ourselves from? What type of financial deals, guys? Everybody want to make money.
Drugs.
Yeah, exactly. Good job. Selling drugs, earning money from haram sources, like selling drugs, bootlegging, Boosting. Oh, yeah. A lot of
Gambling.
Muslims boost. Exactly. Gambling. Good job. You know, what about interest? Should we just avoid that too if we can?
Yes.
Yes, interest. How many of you took out student loans? Oh, yeah. You got to pay for that. That's interest. Okay, so we're going to be faced with Wal Bara in all assets of our decision making here as Muslims. And what about this? Give me some examples of activities or actions that require distancing. What type of actions should we distance ourselves away from? What type of actions? Good job. Backbiting, slandering. Good job. Lying, cheating. Good job. Stealing. Good job. Drugs, alcohol. Good job. Good job. Any action that goes against what Allah commands us to do. Good job. Scamming. Any action that's haram. Any action that violates our Islamic morals, our Islamic principles. That's why you don't do birthdays. Any actions that compromise our morality, like protesting, we stay away from it. You put yourself in danger protesting. Even if you weren't the one that first threw the rock through the window, you were a part of the group that did. Did y'all understand that? You were a part of that group of renegades that did. That's why Allah said, do not sit in the company of people who do wrong. Because even though you didn't cast the first stone, you were a part of the group that did. Y'all called yourselves Muslims. Y'all called yourselves a Muslim student organization of your university. You were a part of that group. You were with them. So all that they did, you pay the price for. All that they did, you're included with it. All that they did, you better go and repent to Allah for being a knucklehead. And like I said, your fathers need to send y'all back home. You become too westernized. You become America. You become too American. Go home, get married, have some babies. Your college days are done. Here we go. Last question. College days are done. Look at that. I put this video up here for the two numbskulls. You see how this wheat is just going in the breeze. Going in the breeze. On my way back home to the Congo. You got that, sisters? Walking on heaven's door. Y'all remember that? Doom, 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 doom. Tap, tap, tapping on heaven's door. There you go. Congo, here I come. Yeah, you earned it. When dealing with a calamity, when should Wal Bara be implemented? Who can answer that? When dealing with hardships, when should we implement distancing and hardships? Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. There you go. Back to the Congo. Hello, made it rhyme. When should you implement distancing? Sister Westfast say you crazy, Layla. No, they father told me make it. Let them see. Let them see. You shamed your family. You shamed your Islamic community. Your imam had to go downtown too. Oh yeah. Knock, knock, knocking on Congo's door. Congo, Congo, Congo. All right. Yeah, go ahead, brother. Type your answers. I can see. I'm looking at on the other. I got my other computer. That's why I can see y'all. I got my laptop up on your Twitch.
I would say when you become too emotional to the point where you start violating the limits of the law by becoming violent and abusing yourself or others, or threatening to harm others.
There you go, sisters. When y'all saw the protests getting that crazy, that it was all on TV. Oh yeah, you wasn't on TV with Laila Nasheeba. Like I said, I ain't seen y'all since Ramadan. I was wondering what happened. MSA. And I don't mean Muhammad Saeed Atlee either. I'm talking about MSA, Association for College Student Wannabe Western People. When you saw that protest getting violent, when you saw that those Muslims were screaming and hollering and cussing, when you saw them arguing with the other people, that's when you and your sister should have turned your little frail behinds and went home. You should have left, but no, you stayed. You stayed to knock on Congo's door. Hello, by the way, why didn't you have a flag of Congo on? The Muslims in Congo been suffering for a long time, but you getting ready to join them. Hello, we'll send some donations to help you now. We'll make you your village our project. Yeah, you should have left. At the first strike, guys, whenever you are involved in an activity and you see the first strike of something that contradicts our Islamic belief, that's when you leave. You don't sit there and be a part of it. You leave. Good job. Who can give me some more answers? Come on. Yes, one of the sisters here said, if you see that the other Muslims around you ain't praying and ain't practicing, you shouldn't have been a part of it either. Exactly. Anytime a laws, rules, guidelines are violated, you get up out of that situation. Just like when we come to the mosque and we see a group of Muslims, a good group of women sitting there speaking badly about another sister. What should you do? You remind them that this is haram, that she's our sister in Islam. And then you excuse yourself. You say to you, be your deeds. And to me, be my deeds. Assalamu alaikum. I don't sit in a company of people who have no fear of Allah. Y'all forgot all of that. So now you're going to be walk into Congo. Hello. Take it back home. Walk into Congo. Did I do it good, Dad? Hit me up for number 4. I'm just joking. You know that. Your wife, you know I'm joking, sister. I don't want your husband. I'm just joking. I'm trying to keep it real. Okay? No, don't worry. I ain't into the Congo. I ain't into the Congo. No, not Congo. All right. So, mashallah, guys, this concludes chapter 4. And again, we're going to find ourselves, guys, faced with decisions in life, just like these 2 little numbskulls. You know, not everything. What's that song? Everything that shines ain't diamond. Just because something looks good don't mean it's good. Just because something sounds good doesn't mean it's good. You're going to have to make the right choices for yourself. And every choice we make should be weighed upon the Quran and the Hadith. We should always ask ourselves, is this what the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam would have done? Is this what he would have approved of? Is this something that's going to bring me close to Allah? How would the companions have behaved? Remember, there's nothing that we encounter that they haven't already. Everything should be weighed on that. All right. Any questions or comments? Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Any questions or comments? Oops. Yeah, the 2 little numbskulls back home. Adios. We'll keep you in our dua. All right. All right. Okay, I want to remind everybody, her father said, thank you, Sister Laila. Thank you too, brother. And that's, like I said, I feel my heart goes out to you. I haven't seen them on the website since Ramadan. Now I see why they hooked up. Be careful of those MSAs groups, guys. For you parents, be careful of your kids joining those Muslim student associations. What are they doing? They ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm going to stop right here. I want to remind everybody, don't forget that, yeah, send it to my email. He said he's going to send me a Starbucks. Her father said, their father said he's going to send me a Starbucks. Yeah, just make sure you email me. When you send it, the gift card, text me so I know that I got it so I can check it. Because a lot of times when you send a gift card to Starbucks, you know, I don't get. So text me, send me a text. Have your wife text me when you and she sends me the gift card for Starbucks. All right. Okay, I want to remind everybody that my Call In and Ask Sister Laila live show is tonight. That should be a good topic too. My talk show, my Call In and Ask Sister live show is tonight at 9. So make sure that everybody is here for that. Any questions you have about Islam, bring them. Anything that you want to discuss, bring it, and we'll go over that, inshallah. Yeah, and please, guys, don't forget to donate. Exactly. This is the first of the month, and we need your donations. You can scan that QR code at the top, or you can go to the PayPal me /SunnahFollowers, or you can Zelle it to LAILA@SunnahFollowers.net. The name will pop up, Laila Nasheeba. No, or you can do that Cash App thing too. What's that Cash App? Sunnahfollowers. I think it's all on the thing. I put it on the stream, inshallah. Okay, I'm
Laila, wait a minute. What? Hold on. Huh? I was trying to run to the phone. I was trying to run to the computer. Just a little bit of elaboration on what you're saying. That is basically kind of like what I've been stressing a little bit to my little ones. So, like, you know how, like, basically, like, this situation that happened right now, I'm not saying that that's what I'm talking about, but something similar to it.
Right.
Okay, so if you're around different Muslims that's doing things, and you know that the Muslims is not doing what they're supposed to do, they ain't practicing, they ain't doing whatever, like, oh, I'm not the one that's doing it. So what? You in a company with them.
That's the
you know
thing.
What I'm saying? So you're gonna be blamed for whatever too, just because you're in a company. Even if you're a little small rat in a corner and everybody come breaking down. If you're a person that wearing hijab, or if you're a person that's doing anything with them, they're gonna bring you down with them too, just because you're there. So you shouldn't even be there in the first place. So you have to basically pick who you hanging around with in general. I don't care if you're going to a mall. I don't care if you're going whatever the place may be. The company that you're keeping is going to be. So I just want to just like I was trying to hurry up and get to the mic.
That's the point. And like I said, because even with these two little numbskulls, you know, we didn't do it. We were, but like the police said, you were involved. You were there. You were part of the group. You were there. This was your Muslim student group. Y'all destroyed property. Y'all destroyed a university. They tore up a university. It was all on TV. Oh, yeah. My little numbskulls are on. They made the news. Oh, yeah. Tore up a university. Oh, yeah. The Muslims did. Oh, yeah. Remind me of when this stuff first started and they tore up all them Starbucks, those Starbucks restaurants that were owned by all those Muslims in New York. Same type of garbage. Just stupid. You were a part of the group. You shouldn't have been a part of the group. When they go down, you going down with them. That's why Allah says don't sit in the company. Be careful who you choose to hang out with. Remember that hadith? The Prophet said, don't invite a person to your house who's not righteous. Don't eat with a person who's not righteous. Don't hang with them. You got people that's not practicing Islam. They're Muslims in name only. They're more into getting their PhDs and getting a master's degree. And you know, the theologians, what are those people? The Mutazilai. You hanging out with the wrong people. Muslim and Naim. Wait a minute. The father just typed Kafi or Mashiites. Hanging out with the wrong group. So you bear the same sins. Remember, Allah says, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, whenever we fail to enjoin the good and forbid the evil, Allah will destroy us all, but he will raise us up and judge us individually. So if something had to happen, all of y'all would have went down, even though you didn't throw the first rock. He'll raise you up individually and judge you based on yourself, but you shouldn't have been a part of that group. You knew better than that. That's why you didn't tell your parents. That's why you didn't even call and ask me about it. I got enough lectures telling y'all that protesting is haram. That's my view. It's haram. It's forbidden for a lot of reasons. A lot of reasons that contradict Islamic morality, virtues, and morals and principles. So that's why they didn't call me. They knew and didn't tell their parents. Send them back home. Knock, knock, knocking on Congo's door. Congo. Kunta Kinte. That's where he was from. Kunta Kinte. Congo. Yeah. Just teach that to our kids too, to be careful who they hang around with and what groups. The kids that are adult that's in college, be careful that you know what Muslim groups they joining and what associations they're a part of and all that crap. You can never let your children stray too far away from you. As a parent, you have to know what your kids are doing, what they're involved with, and who they're involved with. All right, I'm going to close out for now. I'll be back at 9 o'clock with the Call In and Ask Sister Laila live show. Please make sure everybody is here. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta